And we'll take a minute to scan the body as it's lying on the floor. So get yourself comfortable. We're going to take maybe 3 minutes or so. So you have a feel of how long we're going to be laying down here. And just notice what's kind of comfortable, what's not comfortable. How can you make yourself more comfortable and more friendly with a hard surface? Which part of your body is accepting the floor and which part is resisting? And how does the resistance feel like? Does it feel like you're too bony? Is it poking? Is it muscle tension? And the reason I'm going through those possibilities is because when we gain more awareness, we are able to differentiate, kind of like be more acute to differences. And with our awareness, we can sometimes change what we do, how we do, into a different possibility that might be working better for us. So I like to imagine my eyes hanging on the ceiling, looking at myself laying down. You may like or try to put your eyes on the floor, looking up and seeing the spaces between the floor and the ankles, the spaces between the floor and the knees, the spaces between the floor and the lumbar area, the space maybe along the spine, and the space between the floor and the neck. Can you tell which one has more space, which one has less space? Do you have any sense of how you're holding your right leg versus how you're holding your left leg? And do you have any knowledge of how to let go? Many times you hear, oh, we need to relax, just relax. How do we access the letting go? Are you holding your jaw tight? How deep is your breath? How you allow your lower belly to expand as you inhale without effort, without doing it, just allowing it. And is your belly sinking down when the oxygen is leaving you? Can you sense any movement in the ribs when you inhale? Is there any expansion of the ribs? To the back, to the side, to the front? Or is it held like a cage? And let's start drawing the attention to the breath into the lungs. And just for visual effect, the right lung has 3 rooms and the left one has only 2. So the right lung is a little bit longer and the left one is a little shorter. The lung starts all the way on the second rib, close above the collarbone, really, really high, and descends all the way down to your belly, a little bit above your belly button, where the floating ribs are. So as you inhale without effort, just as you allow the air to come in, see if you can feel or sense which side takes a little bit more oxygen, which one gets a little bit more movement, and it might be a tiny little bit of a sensation that maybe will grow through the hour, maybe not. We'll see. But promise yourself not to force and not to push, and to allow the possibility of maybe something changing internally, even if it's a tiny, tiny little bit. And just allow that time to treat your body from the inside out nicely, not push. Just kind of carve the time for yourself. And with that long introduction, let's turn ourselves around and lie down in prone position, meaning on our bellies. So somehow roll yourself and make yourself comfortable. So some of us will have to put something on the chest for support. Some of us will not. And that's all okay. How about turn your face towards me?
You don't get our feet.
Just for aesthetics reason. Yeah. All right. Make yourself comfortable. Notice which side your head is turning to. Do you like the right cheek down? Try the left cheek down. Go back and forth a few times until you're clear which side is your preference. It can be due to the alignment of the vertebrae. And stay on the side that is comfortable for you, your preference. And just take a minute to adjust to this place. Put your hands standing with the elbows up in the air. Find a good place for the hands to stand, that you have enough width and support to your shoulder blades. And now turn your face nose down. And start pushing let's start with the right. Push the right shoulder blade inward towards the vertebrae into the middle of the spine. And come back. And it will be a small movement of pressing with the right hand, transmitting the weight into the shoulder blades and into the center of your spine. So you're moving towards your left. Now some of you, try to get the elbows straight up in the air. So it's almost like a 90 degree. So you get a power to push and come back. The size of the movement is completely unimportant, but keep on changing the location of the fingers or the palms to feel which place would give you the best push-off, the best support from the floor to transmit the movement. Further up.
I don't quite understand.
So we're working with this hand, right? With this shoulder. So you're trying to push so the movement moves into the spine.
Okay.
And coming back. And I'm same with you. I mean, if you widen. So keep on widening the hands outside of your mat, maybe. For me, it's like being right on the edge, where you have enough strength, enough leverage, that's the word I was looking for. So the hand pushes to the floor, transmit to the elbow, and from the elbow to the arm, and then that pushes the shoulder blade, the scapula, in towards the spine. And notice how the ribs are being rolled off the floor, peeled off the floor on the right side, and the left ribs are being kind of ironed like a wallpaper into the floor. So I like to tell myself stories. It's like peeling the wallpaper on the right and gluing it on the left. And keep on moving the hands until you find a really good place. Keep on looking for just the sweet spot where those levers are working just so. And it rolls your ribs. Susan, I think if you brought your hand a little bit higher, you'll have a better support. There. And when you get to the spine, stop, stay there for a minute, and turn your head to the favorite side. And continue doing the same movement now with the head turned to your favorite side. And see if anything changed. Is your right knee rolling on the floor? Is your left knee rolling on the floor? Is the weight from the little toe to the big toe rolling as you push on the right hand, transmitting the weight towards the left? Are you rolling your head from the front of the cheek to the ear? And let it all go. Rest for a minute. Put your hands down alongside your body and just rest. Your head can be to that side, can be to the center, however you want. Notice the breath coming in. Has it deepened at all? Is it going towards your ribs? How do you feel the side you have been working on versus the side we have not worked on? Go ahead and place your hand once again in the same running position, like I'm supporting yourself. Find a good place. Turn your head to the other side, to the side that's less comfortable for you. And we are still pushing with the same arm from the right to the left. Find a place for the hand, so the hand pushing into the ground, transmit the weight into the shoulder, into the elbow, from the elbow into the shoulder, into the scapula, towards the spine, going to the left. Work slowly, work small. So it's not about how far you're rolling, it's about really allowing the movement from inside the ribs, or that wallpaper image, unrolling, kind of taking away from the left and gluing on the taking away from the floor on the right and gluing on the left. How many ribs are playing in that movement? How many ribs do you feel ungluing? And how many ribs do you feel gluing? And go ahead and move your head back to the center like we did in the very beginning. And again, move from the right to the left. And check to see. Do it a little bit faster now. Maybe small, but maybe a little faster. And see if the rolling of the ribs is any way easier. But you're starting from pushing the hands. It's like you're rocking a baby. Rock the spine, rock it, rock it, rock the ribs, rock it.
But just the one side, just the
Yeah,
one.
from right to left,
Yeah.
right to left, right to left, right to left. And let it all go. Turn on your back and let's take 1 minute to observe, sense what's what. What kind of aliveness is there on the right side? The breath rolling in and the breath rolling out. Are your jaw relaxed? Is your tongue hanging? How many of the ribs, without counting, but just a sensation of the ribs are actually laying now more clearly on the ground versus the left side? There have been studies done that actually in those times that we don't do and we relax and observe, the brain is doing a lot of work in putting it all together. So we're going to just allow the brain do what it knows how to do without us getting busy thinking, busy trying. And when you're ready, if you're ready, we're going to turn again on to prone position with the hands in the same position, and we're going to do the whole thing with the left. So hopefully I can remember the sequence that we did. We started with the head in the center. And we search for a good place for the hands to stand so they can transmit the weight. And we're going to start by pushing the left hand into the floor. Feel how the elbow is engaged. Feel how the shoulder is engaged. And feel how you start pushing
So before you even start pushing, there is a preliminary pushing down into the floor to transmit the power. So you can actually move the scapula towards the spine. And then come back. And don't try hard. It's not about getting somewhere. It's about allowing more things that we don't use to come into the play. How is this side different from the other side? And go ahead and turn your head to your comfortable side. And continue pressing the hand into the floor, unpeeling the left side and putting the wallpaper onto the floor on the right side. If the image of the wallpaper on the ribs is kind of getting clear, then you move on to feeling the cheeks rolling from ear to nose, or the knees rolling, or the feet rolling. Is your pelvis rolling? Elbows are up towards the ceiling. The hands are very clearly pushing the floor. Go ahead and rest your arm alongside for a minute. This is just a rest because it is harder to push on the hands. And then when you're ready, go ahead and place your hands again, and now turn your head to the other side. It's a little bit less comfortable. And we're still pushing with the left to the right. And now the cheek has been rolling from the nose to the ear. I guess it depends which side you're laying, I'm sorry. It will change whether your face is contra to the spine or with the spine. And again, the wallpaper is rolling off the floor and into the floor. And is your hip rolling from side to side? And are your feet moving from middle to the side? And rest the elbow a little bit. Allow a deeper breath to flow in. And go ahead and put your nose down again and elbows up in the air again. And push from the left to the right and get it with a little bit of a rock, like a rocking a baby. Push push, 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 rock, 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 and let it go. Roll on your back. Without any effort, how is your breath coming in now? Where are your ribs going towards when the air coming in? Can you sense the ribs, not as a hard, brittle old bones, but maybe as a more flexible material, live material that's breathing with your breath? Bones are alive. They're building and rebuilding and rebuilding. Osteoclasts and osteoblasts, and on and on and on. And let's roll to the belly again. And this time we're going to put the hands again in the same position, and we're going to lift the feet. The knees are together, the thighs are together, the ankles are together. We're going to push the right hand into the floor, and we're going to roll towards the left until we get somewhere with the legs behind us. And then we very, very gently roll back. I forgot to say that now your head will be turning to the right. So you're looking at your right hand as you're pushing on your right hand and you're rolling towards the left. You're transmitting from the hand, nothing has changed. Maybe I think a little wider would be easier. A little wider for you would be easier. Both elbows are up. Both elbows are up. The hands are the one that's working hard. Those are the workers. And your awareness is to how gently and artistically you're rolling the ribs and making a beautiful wallpaper made up from top of napkins, from gas, from leaves, from, I don't know, something really beautiful. A nice wallpaper that you are creating. While you're allowing the workers, the hands, to just do their job. They already know we've prepared them. So the hand is pushing, transmitting the weight, and the wallpaper is being made. Are your eyes going up towards the ceiling? Are they rolling back down with the cheek? How mindfully can you roll the ribs with the support of your hand? Good, and when you come back to the center, Rest for a minute with the legs right there. Inhale and lift your head up with the power of both hands. Look at me, smile. It's not that serious, and turn your head to the other side. We are not going to roll to the opposite side, we are still rolling to the left. So we're pushing with the right hand into the floor, and we're rolling to the left with the head in the opposite direction. We're still making the same beautiful wallpaper with the ribs. Ungluing and gluing. Adding some colors. Adding materials. Do you want it shiny? Do you want it matte? Do you want it with textures?
I'll get your cup too. The keys are in the side pocket and the coffee.
How far down the ribs is the rolling happening? How much of the restriction from the neck affecting your rolling or not? And when you come to the center, lower the legs, rest your arms alongside the body, and just allow the breath to flow in. Notice your jaw, how they relax. And keep your head to the left and bring your hands back up. Bring your legs back up. And we are going to roll, push the left, up. Let's start again. We're going to push the left hand into the floor. We're going to roll from left to right, allowing the left knee to come over the right knee, going to the right and coming back. Again, the left hand knows what it needs to do. It pushes into the floor, and the ribs are rolling. The legs are together, so the left knee is coming above the right knee, and the legs are going towards the right, together with the ribs. What's happening to the cheek? Are your eyes traveling up the wall towards the ceiling? Are you looking at the room? Are your eyes closed and you're looking internally? How do you do what you do? Because really, life happens, but how do we do life? It's so unique. Are you exhaling as you're rolling the ribs? Are you holding your breath? Try not to. Either get it to be continuous, or if it's not continuous, at least on the exhale. And the next time you come to the center, push both hands into the floor, lift your head up, looking to the left, turn your head to the center, give me a smile, or yourself a smile, and turn to your right. So now the head is turned in the opposite direction to the movement, And we're pushing the left-hand workers into the floor, and we are creating a new wallpaper from left to right. The left knee is glued to the right knee, so both of them are going to the right. How far down the right does not matter. You're busy creating this beautiful wallpaper. You're able not to make any bubbles. The ribs are now soft and pliable. And you can pay attention to the colors and the texture. Knees are together, feet are together. Knees are together, feet are together. Even if it moves an inch off the center, that's plenty. We're just trying to create the opposite rotation in the spine. It's not about getting to the floor. It's about that rotation in the spine. Very, very gentle. And go ahead and rest. Lower the legs to the center. And roll to the back. Let's take 1 minute rest, and then I want to do one more thing. Allow the breath to flow in. Maybe you want even to put your hands on the rib cage above your belly button and just sense, feel the breath. Is it deeper than before? Is it fuller than before? Is it clearer than before? And take one more breath. Saying goodbye to this resting place for a second or two, and let's roll to prone position again. This time we're going to keep the knees open, very, very, very open, and put the feet together so we have a triangle. The hands are once more, for the last time today, are right here. We are going to push the right hand into the floor, rolling to the left, and we're going to push and roll to the right. So the right hand will push us to the left, and the left will push us to the right. The head is hanging up somewhere down towards your chest. So you're looking at the horizon. Lift your head a little bit. Look at the horizon, maybe half a foot or a foot above ground. And allow the head to turn with the movement. And feel how the hands are the one that's help, making the start of transferring and rolling the ribs. See if you can see me, not the floor. I promise I'll smile. So as you pass down, you're looking at the height of my eyes. When you're turning to the side, you're looking up towards the ceiling. When you come down, you're at this height of maybe a foot, maybe less, but not the floor. Good, and rest. And now rest for a second. Visitors. And bring the knees together and the thighs together and bring the feet up to the 90 degree. Push the right hand into the floor, rolling the ribs to the left, but taking the legs to the right. Gently come back to the center. Push your left hand into the floor. Transmit the weight to the right, but take your legs to the left. Be careful, Susan. Be careful. Just
Feel the
do it in
twist.
your imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for you. That's just in your mind's eye.
Yeah.
And push with the right hand, transmit the weight to the left and take the legs to the right. This is a deep, deep, deep rotation into the spine. Be very gentle, very mindful. And push the left hand, transmit the weight into the right, roll the ribs, and take the legs in the opposite direction just as much as it feels lovingly. Don't force. We're not 20 anymore. And even then, pushing doesn't work. And see if you can start getting emotion from side to side. That is as simple and as easy as the one we did earlier. Can you roll the wallpaper now in a way that's saving you more time, that's so efficient? And come to the center, lower the legs, roll on your back. Allow a deeper breath to just flow in. Just allow it to come in. There is a difference in atmospheric pressure between the outside and our inside. And air just flows in. Allow it to fill all the crevices, all the spaces. And allow the ribs to be alive, somewhat flexible, receiving of the oxygen and the blood, as well as the muscles in between the ribs, as well as the muscle that's wrapping sitting on the inside of the ribs, which we saw a few weeks ago, like butterflies. Can you feel the breath coming all the way up into your armpit? Or if you don't, how far up do you feel it coming up? Is your sternum, the bone in the front, in between the ribs, moving forward and sinking back down? How much of your spine is coming to the ground now? How much of your ribs touch the ground now? And last and not least, the spaces between the lower back, the space between the neck and the floor. Has they changed, Amy? Is the word relax into the floor has more clarity internally to you?
And when you're ready, roll to the side. And from the side into a sitting position. And from a sitting to a standing position. Checking how it is to be vertical after doing the work.